Hey guys, what's up? Hope everybody's having a good day out there today. Thank you very much for tuning back into the video. It's always appreciated. And today I'm going to do a video from popular demand. I've had a lot of people asking about this, and that is I'm going to give you guys a full tutorial on everything you need to know about hooks on your jerkbaits, replacing the hooks on it, the hooks that come on it, different situations. I'm going to give you a bunch of juice on hooks on jerkbaits. Real quick, guys, if you guys are interested in any of these jerkbaits I'm talking about today, one of the best places you can find them is Baitworks here in Springfield, Missouri. I'll include a link in the description. If you use that link, it takes you straight to the Baitworks online tackle store. You can get a wide range of Mega Bass products there and other jerkbaits, and it's a great way to support the channel if you want to help out there. Okay, let's get into this a little bit here. You guys know that I use Mega Bass jerkbaits almost exclusively. So a lot of what I'm talking about here is based upon the Mega Bass jerkbait and specifically. And here's the one everybody's familiar with. This is actually the Mega Bass 110 silent model, same as the Mega Bass Vision 110. And all the Mega Bass jerkbaits, for the most part, unless you get to the bigger baits like the Canada, that type of stuff, they come with the Mega Bass out barb hook. Now, the size of this is relative. All treble hooks, the size chart that they use is a lot different, but I would consider this something around like a number 5 size in comparison to most hooks that are on the market out there. So anyway, a lot of people ask me about the stock Mega Bass hooks. Guys, these are excellent hooks on a jerkbait here, and they're designed specifically for this bait because they're very extremely light. I don't know if you guys have seen this hook before, but it's a wire hook. It's extremely light. It's got an out barb point. So the barb is on the outside of the hook here, and these things hook the fish unbelievably well. They really do. And the reason why these hooks are on here and why they're specifically designed for the Mega Bass line is the Mega Basses are weighted very precisely. With the Mega Bass out barb hooks that you come stock with them, most of the time you're going to have a real slow rise to the bait, and sometimes it'll suspend. A lot of the suspension or the floating on a Mega Bass model has to do with the paint scheme. On a bait like this, it has a translucent finish. Sometimes they tend to be lighter. If you have like a metallic or flat-sided, a little bit heavier, but for the most part, most Mega Bass jerkbaits with the stock trebles on them will just barely rise like that. And that's a good thing because that way you can adjust for how you want the bait weighted based upon the conditions. But right off the bat, guys, I'm just going to tell you guys the stock hooks that come on the Mega Bass jerkbaits are outstanding. I've caught several bass over 8 pounds on these stock hooks here. I've never had any problem with them. But like any other hooks, you know, they're eventually going to get dull from hitting against rocks. If you get hung up on a stump or something, you're going to straighten one out. So eventually you're going to have to replace the hooks on them. And like I said, you can, change them out and go back to the original Mega Bass models, or you can go to a different model. And what I want to talk about today is if you do have to change them out, the hooks that I recommend to do that. First of all, once in a while, I will put another type of a hook on a brand new bait because if I want the bait to sink or suspend more. And normally what I'll do is I'll upgrade. I use nothing but G-Finesse Gamakatsu trebles. And say, for example, if I'm wanting the bait to sink a little bit, or maybe I've got one that's floating up a little bit quick, all I have to do with it is basically add like a G-Finesse treble hook to the back. And this is a number 5 here. And just that slight little added weight to the back or the middle hook is going to allow that bait to suspend or maybe sink a little bit slower. Now you can do the same thing if you put a suspend strip on the bottom. If you want to stay with the stock Mega Bass hooks on there, that'll also work. But the 2 hooks that I use for replacement models, if I'm looking to replace them sometimes, again, are the Gamakatsu G-Finesse models. And I only use 2 sizes. The 2 sizes I use are a number 6 size and a number 5 size. These are the only two sizes that I use right here. I don't go to a bigger hook. I don't go to anything bigger than a 5, simply because a bigger hook, you will have a more difficult time hooking the bass with a big hook. A jerkbait Most of the time you're using a little bit lighter line, and the larger diameter hook that you have on, the more difficult the penetration is. As long as you have a hook that's small and really stiff, like this G-Finesse Gamakatsu, all you need is a point. Even if on this, like this little number 6 right here, little bitty, you can see the size comparison to this number 6 next to the stock Megabass model on stop wiggling. It's actually even smaller. But even on this little tiny hook like this, that is so stiff that you get 1 point of that thing into the side of the fish's mouth, and it's not going to come off. It's not going to straighten out. So those G-Finesse Gamakatsus are what I upgrade to sometimes. Now we're talking about the size in here. A lot of times what I'll do, if I'm working the bait pretty fast and I don't really care about if it's sinking or rising, sometimes I'll put the number 5 like on the front and the back. And if you put that much weight on a Megabass jerkbait, it's going to sink it a little bit. But if I'm working a jerkbait real fast, say for example, I'm working in the summertime around boat docks, fishing for smallmouth or whatever like that, I don't care if it works, if it sinks a little bit. So sometimes I'll upgrade to 2 number 5s with that. Gives me a little bit more casting distance, and you know, it's just a good replacement model. A lot of times, say for example, if I have a model that's really working good, and say my hooks get dull, so I'm fishing the bait all day long, and the hook points get dull, I need to replace them. What I'll do with that, I'll replace them with 3 number 6 Gamakatsus. Now this is a little bitty hook here, you can see on that. It's quite a bit smaller than the stock one on there. But again, I'm not concerned about the bite gap on the hook. I'm concerned about the point. The point is all you need to be concerned with. I'm concerned about penetration over everything. I'm not concerned about the gap bite, the gap width on there. All I'm concerned about is getting the point of that hook and the barb into the fish. Because once I get the point of that hook and the barb, I can, if I hook it in the side of the mouth or in a soft part of the mouth, it doesn't matter, or even a hard part, hard bony part of the mouth on the top, as long as I get that point in there, that fish is not coming off. And a lot of times, like I said, that's one of the biggest mistakes people make when they replace jerkbait hooks is they go up too much in a size, and they'll have those fish jump off because simply they're not getting the penetration. So that's one of the big things I want to stress in this tip here is never go to over a number 5 hook in the standard Megabass 110 model line of jerkbaits there. Now, if you're fishing the bigger ones, you know, if you're fishing the LBO models or the, you know, Edo Shiners or the Kanadas, something like that, yeah, you can go to a little bit bigger hook. But I think most of the people are more familiar with the 110 model there. But anyway, guys, that's what I do. It's a pretty simple system. I use the stock Megabass hooks the majority of the time for my fishing. When I have to replace them, I either go to treble hook bounced over here. Either a number 6 or a number 5, one of the two. Those are the 2 replacement hooks I use, and keep it pretty simple here. But like I said, there's really nothing that can beat the stock Megabass hooks a lot of time on there. They're just so sticky sharp and they're light, and like I said, the fish just swats at them and they're hooked. So anyway, guys, that's answering a lot of questions. I get that question a lot from people. That's my answer to it there. If like I said, if you can take away one thing out of this tip, is do not kill your jerkbaits. Not only will it kill the action, but it'll make it more difficult to land the fish with the bigger hooks. Stay with the smaller hooks and you'll do much better as far as generating strikes with better action. Smaller hooks are going to give you more lifelike action. A bigger hook's going to deaden your bait more, and you're also going to land more fish with that. So anyway, guys, hope that tip helps out. And also, man, we're getting really close to 50,000 subscribers now. I think if everybody chips in and bells out, we can get to it by the end of the week. We're like at 49,500 and something right now. All you guys that aren't subscribed to the channel, if you want to help out here, just hit that subscribe button. Be much appreciated. And we'll see y'all later.